I am stuck in traffic in the largest expressway on the planet. They have like 28 lanes. I mean, it is extremely big in Katy, Texas, or Katy, Texas. So, what is it for me to do? Well, let's rant. That is what we gotta do, rant. And what can we rant about? Well, I spent the whole week listening about black, white, yellow, rainbow coalition by J.C. Jackson. So let's analyze our view of J.C. Jackson and the rainbow coalition that he wanted to create. Well, if you want to divide people and create your own little fantasy land, all you have to do is colorize them and tell them that your color belongs together with another color, but they must be together against another color, So the whites, who are the whites? Well, we already established who are the whites. The whites are those immigrants. They came from Europe. They are a color code white. They have learned English, and they have forgotten who is Hitler and who created the United States of America. And they too have forgotten they have been a slave themselves for a very long time. We're talking about for thousands of years. Not just one day, thousands of years. A slave, literally slaves. So now they are telling us that the blacks are slaves, or they were descendants of a slave, so they must be separated. Apartheid. But J.C. Jackson came in and tried to unite us. But how he has accomplished that? Well, he didn't accomplish it. That is the key right there. They utilize him. The whites give him the opportunity to speak. They did not censor him to bring some color code blacks into whiteness. And that did work. And you can see that today in ICE, in the police forces. You see color code blacks that 3 days ago were on the back of the bus being oppressed by the color code whites, now shoulder to shoulder with those oppressors oppressing the rest of the colors. That is what Mr. J.C. Jackson have accomplished. He accomplished the the turning of colors or behavior from one color code human to another color code human. And that is beautiful to see. You see that every single day. For example, Mexicans. You get Mexicans. You get a Mexican, a drug addict. You get a drug addict. And this drug addict learned how to drive a truck, right? And he's driving the truck and making a little money and buying some more drugs. And at the same time, he's driving that little truck, he's eating a lot of sugar because that is the only cent they sell on truck stops. So by the time he gets to be 70, he's all beat up. He ain't got no teeth. His legs are amputated because high sugar. He just married a Polacca that escaped Hitler and learned how to speak English, and she too is a drug addict, and she make him work like a dog and take all his money, giving offspring to a bunch of little Mexicans that now look white. They accepted to be white. So now they are white, becoming drug addicts, telling that the Mexicans are importing drugs and they are killing them. That is the reality. So now, how we get there? Well, let's analyze how we get there. How J.C. Jackson was able, or was, was molded, or it was put forward. Well, it's because the network, the commercial broadcasters, need somebody to do that. So they give them the time to speak, and they censor the rest. So the culpable, the person who is responsible for destroying our beautiful United States of America ethnicity are the Polacos that learn how to speak English, and the English themselves, they control the commercial broadcasters. One example of this is Fox News. Fox News is controlled by the English, by Rupert Murdoch, a knight of the English. Bloomberg, knight of the English. If you look at all these CEO of companies, you're going to see that a lot of them, or most of them, has some connection with the English, like English university, like Oxford and so on. And that is who is culpable, because what is happening is they are censored people. So the question to ask will be, well, Pavel, and why, if you know they are censoring you, why you are...
There's a lane closure ahead.
Why you are wasting your time, if you will, talking about the reality. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. The reason is so we can have in the future how can I present it, an evidence that not everyone was conditioned, and not everyone were cheap enough to look down and follow. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. In the 1920s and 30s was a teacher, a single teacher. They decided to teach Charles Darwin, the English Darwin or Darwinism. They actually say that the species evolved by natural selection, by selecting each other. Remember, the Darwin never talk about gods or how we arrive here. He just say that his data, his observation were that every species, every organism is evolving by natural selecting its offspring, its partner, is the person or the organism that is going to procreate with. That is what Darwin say. So this teacher start teaching that in class. So now the Polacos, they learn how to speak English, decided, oh, no, because if now people start learning reality, we are going to lose control of all these primitive people, and that is how we get wealthy. We make them follow, that we make them cheap. We put fear of God in them. If they lose that fear of God, we cannot control them. So they take this teacher and take him to court and literally convicted him of malpractice, practicing basically that he was teaching the children's erroneous ideas. Well, that happened before to Socrates. Socrates did exactly the same. One person goes against everyone, and eventually that behavior will come to light that they are correct. So I am doing exactly the same. Yes, I am comparing myself with the best, Socrates. Yes, I am no worse than Socrates. I can observe just like he does, or like he did, and he lost his life for it. Well, I too can lose my life for it. The same is that teacher. They got convicted in the United States of America by those loving God men and women that literally they were peasants and convicted science itself. But now we know the reality. It is that way. It is that we select our offspring, and we change our biology by having different union with different organisms. One example of this is right now the nephew of the child molester, Prince of the English, Harris. Harris has kids. Those kids are blonde-headed, real light, or I should say, less pigmented skin. His wife, Mackler, she is somewhat pigmented biology. Her mother is full pigmented biology, what we call today black. She is not black. We call them that. So the children of the prince, right, blonde-headed, has grandfathers and great-grandmothers and fathers completely pigmented. That is the reality. So how can we get J.C. Jackson to tell me the black power, and we black need to do certain sin to exist in the United States of America? Well, he did not need to say that. I don't need to say that. What we need to do is say the following: we are humans. There is only one race, the human race, and we naturally select each other to make each other advance. So what we need to be doing is putting forward, supporting, and defending that natural selection. We cannot utilize commercial broadcasters to make a fat guy look appealing to beautiful women biology, because what we're going to get is very weak biology, and we're talking about the weak biology of Mr. Trump. I mean, you see their kids, I mean, they look abnormal to me, because they have this weird biology, and the strongest of
Head
biology, they are being attacked by these
in a quarter mile,
fat
use the
cats.
right lane to merge onto
So,
I-45 South.
That is where we need to go. We need to go to advance our biology.
There are police reported ahead.
To advance
Head west on I-610 West. Continue on I-610 West for 4 miles.
To advance our biology, we need to advance every single organism on the planet and defend them, and defend our ethnic groups, our languages, our religion, and make sure that those religions are correct, that they are advancing humanity. We cannot have a religion. We just cannot have it. Having a religion where the parents' idea of being a good believer is to kill their child. I mean, that is primitive. That is very primitive. So we need to advance. We need to get away from that, and we need to start looking outside our planet. What are we going to do to survive outside our planet? Because eventually, our knowledge from Darwinism to me, from all the way from Socrates to you, now we are advanced, and the commercial broadcasters right now are in tremendous fight with communication. This is what I am doing right now, communicating with you. The commercial broadcasters, those religious leaders, they do not want reality to come into your house via me, via communication. Because the moment that you start listening to me, the reality that I show you, then you realize, holy shit, I'm a stupid ass. And then maybe then you can start analyzing the data surrounding you and advancing yourself and separating from people like Trump, separating from craziness and trying to make these people reinforce that void.
In 2
that you
miles,
have.
use the right 2 lanes to take exit 13A for US 290 West toward Austin.
And that is what is happening right now. Is a completely warfare in between communication technologies and broadcasters, commercial broadcasters. And you see that like yesterday or day before yesterday, Mr. Zuckerberg from X or M or Q or one of those letters they come out with, used to be Facebook, I believe. They have to testify in court because he have reached court. How this is going to turn out? We're looking at Australia. They literally ban communication technologies to be distributed to young people. Not different the Hellenic people with Socrates. The moment they lose control of that dialogue or that transfer of learning, they are going to fight because they want to protect their power. So remember, they have power because you follow, because you pay. When NPR asks you, give me your old car, so that
In
way,
half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 13A for US 290 West toward Austin.
give me your old car, because that will help us to transfer the correct news to you. Nobody else can do it. We can do it. Well, they are. If you give them that money, you just give them your power and censor me, and that is the key.
Use the right
give
2 lanes to
power.
take exit 13A.
Give power to those who transfer knowledge. Do not give power to those who just repeat and make you feel good. Because when
In half a mile, use any lane to take the US 290 West ramp to Austin.
Because when you start making yourself feel good, yes, you're going to be euphoric, but you are going to be erroneously fighting the correct person. Erroneously, you will be in the gang membership,
Use any lane to take the US 290 West ramp.
fighting that single individual.
Continue on US 290 West for 24 miles.
Fighting that single individual like Socrates, like that teacher that got convicted for teaching Darwinism. And today we know that is the truth. That is how the world works. Saludos.